in Grand community are getting serious. Things are getting mixed up and mixed up day by day. Different days come with its own different story, different confusing and heartbreaking story in Grand community day by day. The grant they promise to disburse to Nigerians in Grand community Nigerians seems not to have seen the light of the day yet, even till now. And today is another day. This is a new day already. Today is Friday, the 31st of May, 2024. Yet, the grand saga still continue. Different story, different confusing story, heartbreaking story, disappointing story is what we keep seeing day by day. Where is the grant they promise us? Where is the money they promise to disburse to Nigerians? The suffering masses, the dying and suffering, frustrated masses in grand community in Nigeria. Which way, Nigeria? Where exactly are we going? Where are we going in this country, Nigeria? Is this how we continue? Is this how we are going to remain? Eh? What is happening to grand community? What is happening to the grants they promise to disburse to Nigeria? Different NGOs has come and gone with same disappointing story. Now, the almighty AGPGN that we are all looking up to, that God has brought them or God has sent them to put the suffering away and to wipe away our tears in grand community and put smiles in our faces concerning this grant disbursement. There seems to have been to be the ray of light and hope to Nigerians in grand community concerning this grant disbursement. But where are they today? Story has changed again, and it has finally changed to the time of AGPGN. But do you know one thing I've come to realize today is that I've been thinking about it since yesterday, all through the night. I didn't have a sound sleep. I was just thinking about it all through the night. That when will the suffering of Nigerians be over? When will God finally deliver unto us this grant that we have long waited for and expected to be disbursed to us, so that we can use it to set up our life again and be happy once again? When will our suffering be over? When will our cries stop? And when will our tears be wiped off or be wiped away by God Himself? Because it's only God Himself that can do this. Because human being has failed in their expertise. They have failed severally and woefully. They have disappointed us in grand community in Nigeria. God, when will you come to our rescue finally and deliver us in the hand of the, the tax master that are punishing us even in our own fatherland? Our right has not been given unto us. Day in, day out, we are getting different promises, different disappointing and failed, heartbreaking promises instead of the grants they promise to give unto us. When are we going? Where are we going? And when are we going to have this money disbursed to us? This is the questions that most people are asking me in my private chat and even in the comment section. Will this grant be disbursed? Is there even money at all to be disbursed? The story they are telling us about this money being available, is it true or false? When is it going to be disbursed? If there is money truly, when will it be disbursed to Nigerians? These are the questions that people are asking. And even myself, I wonder what I should give them for an answer. Because today I will hear this message, come to me that seems to have, to have given us hope, or seems to be the kind of a message that will liberate us, to point to the fact that this money will finally be disbursed to us. By the second day or the following week, another story will come that will contradict the one that was first given to me. And this is what has been playing out day in, day out. It seems there is only one same grant called UAS that was being pursued by one NGO or the other, from one NGO or another, from onset, even right from the day of SEM in 2016 till now, for disbursement, of which even Ken Wakama was now profiled to be the one to disburse the money. Okay, but something happened along the way. Something happened along the line of his pursuit, of the pursuit of this same grant, whereby AGPGN, that was once agitator and fighter for the masses, have now gotten hold of this same grant, and in their own pursuit of it, they compromise their way and their integrity, to disburse the money, and rather they change it to disburse peanuts called palliative to the subscribers in grant community. Which way are we going? Which way are we going? When are we going to have this money disbursed to us? Who can be trusted in this matter now, in this matter of a grant disbursement in Nigeria? Documents were destroyed, and story completely changed from the way it used to be, or what we are being told before. AGPGN, which is All Grant Pressure Group of Nigeria, either for greed, or just for compromise with the body concerned, to have something to disburse to the suffering masses or the subscribers of the grants, removed Ken Nwakama, and became grant handler themselves. Overnight, they became grant handler. This is very shocking and very disappointing. Nobody will have even have issue with them being a grant handler overnight if they have stick to their promise and get this money disbursed to Nigeria. Who cares who disbursed the money? Nobody cares who disbursed the money. The main factor that all Nigerians are crying for and expected, or they are expecting, is that this money should be disbursed. Nobody cares whether it's AGPGN that disbursed the money, or Ken Wakama that disbursed the money. What Nigeria suffering masses and dying masses want is for this money to be disbursed to us. Still, want to remain, they've suddenly become a grant handler, the AGPGN, and they still want to remain an agitator. You see, they still want to remain agitator. A lot of lies and deception, which eventually divided their camp or divided their group, and their house is scattered and divided down even as we speak. So much to say, about all this saga that is ravaging and going flying around in grand community in Nigeria concerning this very money, this very grand disbursement. Eh? So much to say, so much to talk about, so much story and news to be exposed or disclosed. All right, but until when disbursement happen, before everything that is hidden will be bare open, everything that is hidden will be bare open. UAAG is still lying. UAG is still lying. Laying claim. They are still laying claim of same grants for disbursement, and AGPGN too seems to have find their way into the power, to the corridor power, holding these grants to be disbursed. AGPGN, having compromised and turned same grants to palliative, is laying claim to same grants for disbursement. Nobody even know what is playing out. Nobody even know what is happening exactly. Nobody can boldly come out to say this is exactly what is happening to this grant disbursement at this time. The whole thing is just confusing and messed up. Nobody know anything again. Here we are as subscribers, in between both parties or partners, not knowing who is lying and who is saying the truth, who will even be the one to disburse the money. We, the masses in grant community, the subscribers of the grants, we are just in between, not knowing where to go, not knowing who is saying the truth and who is lying, not knowing who will be the one to disburse the money, or the amount that to disburse, or when. We are all everything is just being in fact. Anyway, let's listen to what this comrade got to say concerning the whole thing, because the whole thing is just getting me pissed and tired of the whole thing.
I'll be a bit guided, and then before maybe I say some things. The first thing on the agenda is masses. What do we want at this critical time? Immediate disbursement or another delay? Now, why I wrote this was because we have a situation right now where I could say that um, I do not think, as a person right now, from all indication, I do not think there is much left anymore. I don't see anything left that would not allow disbursement to commence any moment from now. After all, how many weeks now? Maybe they have been saying that it can happen anytime from now. But what made me to further ask that question, if we want disbursement immediate or we want another delay, is because I've also tried to monitor some milestones actually being accomplished, some things that they needed to do in actual facts, and I can see that some of those things, in fact, for me, they have done what necessarily should be done for disbursement to commence. So I do not expect any excuse from any quarters at this point as a person based on what I am aware of. So just because I am not the one to do the disbursement, I cannot say. Now, let me finish the point before I explain any further about it. Now, I asked whether we want it now because if they are done, that means we should expect immediate disbursements. I mean, we should expect disbursements without any further delay. Now, the other option why I asked whether we want delayed stuff is the way things have been moving now. Let me just begin to put it in so that I've been writing about it is that the government committee has been working with Pastor John, Pastor Mopitong, and Comrade Abdul. And so far, they have gotten to where we are right now. So, any adjustment to this arrangement, to me, would seem as a delay, maybe bringing back, as we had the whole of yesterday, fighting between the two sides of UAAG and AGPGN, trying to bring UAAG back into it and things like that, or maybe Apostle Cain. For me, I would only see it as a delay, nothing more. So the best thing is we just allow it to flow the way it has been flowing. Yes, mistakes have been made. Some of them grave errors, but we have. I speak that as an observer, but I can't speak that as one of them. But maybe from what I'm also observing, I'm not. Please don't misinterpret me. I am not representing either side. I am saying that the choice of who government committee wanted to work with wasn't my choice. Okay, and also maybe not the choice of AGPGN. Okay, but circumstances played themselves into where we are today, whereby, even as you heard from Apostle Cain yesterday, his side is being dropped. And so we have a side that government is working with. Whether the amounts are large or whatever will be brought is another question. But the reason why I asked the question or saying whether we want immediate disbursement or delay was that if we allow the present structure to be upset, all right, we would have delays. If anything, like yesterday now, they came up and then they were arguing amongst themselves. You could see AGPGN side fire at UAG fired back and things like that. If from what we know is that some people want to be included. I am saying that if you allow them to be included right now and the thing does not continue the way it's been continuing, then it will bring delay to this process. The issue of petition and all of that, nobody should write petition at this time. It's not worth it. It is only going to set us backward. However, to an extent, it may not still set us backward. It may not still set us backward. So I want us to be on the same page with that this is not my doing. I'm not taking sides. I'm only saying that what we have come to see is that government is working with Pastor John, Pastor Amopitong, and Comrade Abdul. And let's just allow that to go ahead so that we can have speedy disbursement. Any disturbances or allowing upsets in that balance right now will bring delay. That is why I asked that question. All right. I'm done with that point. Number one. And let me go to point number two. We need to now deal with the issues and not sentiments. Now, where we are right now, with a lot of things being thrown around yesterday, back and forth, meetings here and there, it's obvious that we need to know what the issues are and what sentiments are, and we just leave the sentiments and just face what is before us. Okay, what is before us is disbursement. That is what we want at this point. Maybe let us see if we can change the amount to be paid, blah blah. It's just extra days of delay. Question is, whatever they have made up their minds to bring to the table, let them bring it. Enough is enough. We cannot accept any further delay to this. Let them disburse and things like that. So therefore, this is why I said we have to separate issues from sentiments. Sentiments of, which side you belong. We need to drop all of that right now. We just focus on the disbursement, and I've already said the side that government is working with, let them just go ahead and perfect everything that is left to be done, if there is any, which I don't think there is anything except maybe going to have a meeting to execute and start this thing. I don't think there is anything that they need to do again and again to see what should be done. I think most things have been done and perfected. Therefore, we can now move forward, and we will now have to hold these people accountable if we didn't see disbursement anytime from now. Because as far as I said, I am concerned, like I said, I believe there is nothing at this point holding this disbursement. If we see any excuses, we really have to find out why such excuses. And to be candid, I don't think we, the masses, will be ready for any further excuses hereafter, because we believe that most things have been done. With the confessions coming out, you could see write-ups and all of that, from either side of the divide, everybody calling for calm and things like that. So it means nothing should be an excuse any further. The only thing I can say is this: let it not be that we come to social media and say, let everywhere be peaceful, but behind the scene, we are fighting. I'm talking about AGPGN or the UAAG side now. Because what we've observed for the past 1 week or two is that when one strategy fails, because we really saw the UAG soldiers come on board, fight back seriously. Now, when one strategy fails, they bring out another one. When one strategy fails, they bring out the other one. So, in spite of the fact that we could hear Apostle Ken last Sunday, I think that was last week Sunday, who came out and said he sues for peace. He's not looking for any. He himself is not attending any meeting. You understand? But the following day, Wahala broke out, in the grand community from their side again. So it's more of like you use the social media to speak nicely, but you go behind the scene and still be fighting. We use this meeting and this platform to say enough is actually enough. If you're not fighting in social media, don't also fight behind the scene. If you're actually fighting, come out, let us know exactly what the problem is. But for now, we know that government has chosen a certain direction they're going, and there is not much we can do about it. That is the situation. How did we come? I think that will lead me to the next point now. the issue of government committee and how we got here. All right, the facts about it. How did we even get to government committee? However, anyway, anything that government has to do, there has to be a committee overseeing that. Okay, most especially being that this is a non-governmental thing, there has to be a government committee to oversee. If we were able to do it by ourselves, I don't think there was going to be need for government committee. But you see, we were not able to do it by ourselves. We fought and fought and fought. And for me, till tomorrow, if you remove government out of this thing and you leave AGPGN and UAAG to continue to negotiate to see if they can reach a common, I do not see any possibility of arriving at a solution. We will fight till Jesus returns. That is nothing but the truth. Because you do not see both sides agree. So for me, it's even a plus that government came in to like, okay, where do we go? How do we move? Definitely, when you wash your dirty linens in the public, it is left for those that are seeing you to judge who to work with and who is better and who is not good enough. All right, that doesn't mean that nobody's perfect. Are we together? There is nobody that is perfect. That is what I mean to say. But if two of us are fighting and we always say all the things that we did in the secret publicly, you will draw attention. The person that is observing you will know who is actually wrong and who is not wrong. Do you understand me? Or who is better off. And this is where we found ourselves. The fight between AGPGN and UAG and all of that, those that are involved, fighting, endless fights. So now, if government wants to step in to do something, they will have a direction. It's either they throw the two of them away, pick up something fresh, or they choose one side to work with. So we found ourselves in this place because no side agreed to a common terms of reference, issue of greed and exchanges of a lot of brought about where we are right now. So whatever finally will come, let us accept it and go our way, period. That is how I can put it, because we have allowed the fight. We've washed our dirty linens in the public, and then we have left the judgment for passerbys to do what? To interpret who we are, and that's it, the way we are. So we found ourselves here. That's how government committee came in. They have decided these are obvious facts, and guess what? Government knows you. You see, the truth is, government is not really stupid. Do you understand me? They will be observing and all of that. So, let's cut all that short. Yesterday, in the meeting between AKN and the CEOs, of course, he came to point that he's actually been removed. Do you understand me? UAG is out of this game. So, question is now that to those that this thing belongs to right now, they should go ahead and then try to fix it and get this thing going, because we don't need any excuse again. Therefore, with that, I can now say that with UAAG not being directly involved again now, with AKN being set aside, let AGPGN or the few, those people working with government committee proceed immediately, because they cannot give us excuse again that it is one apostle or UAG that is giving them problem. And that is why also I would still reiterate that UAG or anyone fighting should not say he's calling for peace in public, but behind the scene is still fighting. So we don't want to see, because we've had such media resolution before. They say they have settled. They say they have settled. Next thing, you see one write-up from one group, from one side, coming to public space. You just know that they are still fighting. We don't want to see such things tomorrow. As tomorrow begins now, we want the AGPGN people that are working with government committee go ahead and give us quick disbursement. Period. We will not, then any other person, UAG side should lay down their arms like they are calling for, and should not fight, be it on social media or behind the scene. What we want to begin to see from tomorrow is result, things that make us know that this thing will be done and all of that. We expect that this month shouldn't pass. It's our expectation. We have the right, or right is our right to decide when and think we don't want this month to pass. We will need, disbursement. Let me proceed to the next point and all of that. The issue of which side, okay, government is working with this, I have said. They have chosen which side. They're working with Pastor John, Pastor Amopichong, and Comrade Abdul, and all of that. And then the issue of taking sides. Really, nobody should take sides at this point. Just take side with the government that is working with the people. That's how I would say it. What I mean is that encourage them to go ahead and do what? And disburse. That is where the thing is. We don't need to start fighting amongst ourselves, start fighting again about AGPG and UAAG and all of that. No, let's just focus on the committee and the people the committee is working with. That is just the side we just have to focus on, period. So it's not about taking sides and belonging to. In that represents our interest as masses, because it has to do with disbursement, and that's the interest of all of us. So if we support that side and then encourage them to go ahead and do the disbursement, that means we are favoring our own cause, because that is what it is exactly. All right, the issue of palliative or grant. I do not believe as a person it is palliative, because why I said I don't believe it's palliative, even if it is small, for whatever reason, we didn't go for palliative, and we cannot be getting palliative. Now, I've heard of things like projects is inside and all of that, and then this other cash side, and we have heard arguments like government is focusing on the project or something and all of that, and so maybe they want to keep more money to do projects and then give out this other side, this other part for the people to have something. So because we need CBN to disburse this money, we cannot decide the finality of how everything goes. Government will look at the